From Australia, this is Bondi Tunes.
Henry O'Donovan.
It's Bondi Tunes, music and chat broadcasting from Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. And now, for the first time ever, we cross to Beijing, where there's a very exciting project underway. A new app. My colleague and friend, Bruce Foreman, is in the thick of it all. Hello, Bruce.
Hi, Henry.
What is this all? Look, I'm going to be the first to admit, even though I can build a computer up from the ground, I cannot actually do anything with mobiles. Never mind, I don't use apps. I don't have these devices. You're creating an app. Can you explain what that is?
Okay, an app. What we're doing is we're making an application for an iPhone, and I think everyone in the world knows what an app is. It's like a device on your iPhone that makes something easier in your life, or it's a gimmick. And I'm a photographer, so I've decided to launch some of my photographs onto an iPhone app as a way of doing something different in publishing photographs. And our app is called A Poetic Universe. It's all about Tibet.
Can you say that again? What's it called?
A Poetic Universe.
A Poetic Universe. And is there a website that we can tell the listeners about?
At the moment, I've got my photographs uploaded on a website called www.poetic-universe.com. Okay. And that's a blog that I started about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And I guess the story behind this app is that when I've traveled to Tibet many, many times, and I have a bunch of Tibetan photographs. It's like they're one of the most beautiful places in the world to photograph, simply because the people are very pure about what they do. The landscapes are very beautiful, and there's all these gorgeous people walking across the plains, herding their yaks, praying in temples, walking around in circles. I have so many pictures that each day I decided to upload one picture. I hand-selected a quote that I thought matched the picture.
Right.
And together they created what I called like a poetic universe, or this is the term that I thought would work well for this project. So it's kind of like a daily inspirational calendar. And then I decided that I wanted to get into apps, and I have a good friend up here in Beijing who does apps, and we decided we needed something that made it special. So we've created a prayer wheel, which is a Tibetan device that people spin around these big metal wheels.
Right.
It's to generate good karma for themselves. And they say when you're on a pilgrimage spinning the prayer wheel, you also receive wisdom.
Right. Now, these wheels, I take it they're putting the finger across the screen and spinning something. Is that right?
That's right. So in real life, the Tibetans, they go to temples, and these big wheels line the whole outside the temples. And they walk around. There's 108 of them, and they spin them. They make this rattling sound as they walk along. And the pilgrims or the nomads, they usually chant Om Mani Padme Hum, which means bless the teachings of the Buddha, or bless the jewel in the lotus, which people say means bless the teachings or the wisdom of the Buddha. So they're kind of praying for wisdom, and they're praying for wisdom to come from the universe to enlighten all sentient beings, right? So we really love this idea.
I actually love the way that such an ancient kind of ritual has been used in such a modern technology.
Yeah, exactly. So we really love that idea too, right? On the app, you use your finger to spin a prayer wheel, and the prayer wheel spins, and as it slows down, one of the photos that I've taken in Tibet will merge out of the screen, and will have a quote underneath. So we'll say something beautiful that matches the photo. And the idea is that this will bring some sort of peace or some sort of mental shift to your day. So it's meant to be a feel-good app. Yeah, so we've tried a lot of different things, and we added a ding, like a ding sound from a Tibetan prayer bowl. We want to add Om Mani Padme Hum, which is the sacred chant that people usually do when they spin these prayer wheels around. And we've also got a rattling sound that we're trying, because when you spin a prayer wheel, it goes kind of like a galumph, galumph. So we're trying that as well.
Right.
So, I mean, the fun thing about doing this is it's all trial and error. You have an idea, you try it out, you see if it works. If it doesn't, you throw it away and you try something else. So
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Does this work only on Apple products?
At the moment, we're developing for Apple because we have iTunes.
Yeah, which is huge, yeah.
Can you hear the taxis of Beijing in the background?
Yes, I do. Yes, I can. It's a busy place. Yeah. Even I suppose it is 8:30 over there at the moment in the evening. Right, well, this is a fascinating project, and I would say a brave one, given the amount of time you guys are putting into this.
Yeah, well, The photographs have been taken over 10 years. So I started going to Tibet 10 years ago as a tour leader, and I've been going back almost every year. I get invited on trips. I've got some very good friends up in Tibet. Good friend in Australia who does a lot of charity work in Tibet,
Right.
so often I travel with her as well.
And of course, I just should tell our listeners that Bruce is a very, very good friend of Mandy Kearsley, who's our Northern Thailand correspondent. And
Yep.
we talked about you on one of our chats, actually, Bruce.
Oh, good. I can't wait to hear that.
I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure even what we said. Because our conversations go insane after about 5 minutes, you know.
I'm sure.
So now we're pre-recording this to the release date. So what? It's probably a dangerous question to ask you, but when do you think this will be released?
Well, as I was saying, it's been 10 years in the making. Not that we thought we'd ever make this 10 years ago, but the photography started 10 years ago. I started the project 2 years ago, just uploading one photo a day, and that was kind of like every morning it was like a sort of meditation, pick a photo, pick a nice quote, and that was really fun because that was a real journey of discovery into all the wise things that people have said throughout the centuries. So I have people like the Buddha, Rumi, Einstein, Dr. Seuss, all these brilliant minds who say fantastic things, and we've all heard a lot of them, but I made special care to pick the best ones which really spoke to the photograph. So that was like a year-long process. And then, not knowing exactly that I was going to do an app at that stage, I thought it was going to be just like a blog calendar project. But yes, I've come up to Beijing and I spent a month doing the project amidst other things. So it's taken us a month to do this project, and I've just spent another few days and hopefully another couple of weeks. But it's a normal thing for an app to take up to 6 weeks, depending.
Of course, we were going to say to you, we won't air this until it is available.
That's right. So hopefully in 2 weeks' time, we have to give the Apple iTunes shop 5 days to approve it. And actually getting past all their system is a bit of a process too. So we're kind of working out the nuts and bolts of that.
Okay.
So I think 10 days.
How do people find, like, once you've got this approved by Apple, how do people actually find this app? Do they just scroll through and find it, or can they search for it, or how does that work?
You'll be able to search for it under the terms Poetic Universe.
Okay.
We spent a long time discussing what we should call it, what's going to make us easy to be found. And this is like another whole job in itself, like with an app. Like there's 100,000 apps, so you really got to do some good stunts to get yourself known. So we're kind of thinking of getting it. I'm in Beijing and there's lots of monks around different temples, monks from Tibet around the Lama temple. So I want to take the iPhone to these monks dressed in purple robes and maybe do a YouTube video of them spinning a real wheel and spinning our wheel and see what the reaction is.
That
and this might make a funny, and it might make a funny YouTube video and things like that. You have to sort of like upload to the web and try and get your name out there by doing sort of creative marketing. So that's our next job, is getting creative in marketing.
Right. That's a really smart idea too. We're over 10 minutes, so we've got to finish this soon, but I just want to let our listeners know that by the time this goes to air, it will be available, and you just look up Poetic Universe to find the app. Is that correct, Bruce?
That's right. Go to the iTunes store and look up Poetic Universe.
Okay. Bruce, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much, Henry. It was fun.
This is BondiTunes.com. Yep, that's Bruce Foreman in Beijing, China. If you are interested in that app and you have an iPhone, just search the tags Poetic Universe Wisdom Wheel. Poetic Universe Wisdom Wheel. You'll need to download it to your computer because it's 20 megabytes and that's just a tad too large for your iPhone, but then transfer it to your iPhone. But it's worth it. And at $2.99 US, it's cheaper than a bar of chocolate. Here's Judy.
Embrace me, my sweet embrace.